We hear a lot about net neutrality these days. There was a recent attempt by the federal government in the US to impose net neutrality laws, and that seemingly failed for jurisdictional reasons. But what is net neutrality and why does it matter? Let us look at how the internet works for most of us. You are at home, perhaps connected to the internet. You could be checking out Facebook, Google, Netflix, Reddit, the website for Trent University, your friend's blog about her marathon training, or any other site. But your internet service is provided by an internet service provider, like Bell or Rogers or TechSavvy or Comwave, etc. These companies provide you access to all the websites that there are. What they do is manage the connections between you and those sites. The internet service provider is usually understood to be neutral about which sites you're looking at. For the most part, they don't care which sites you're looking at, so long as you're paying your company to access them. The internet service provider connects you to the network, and all the network does is transfer information. It doesn't do anything else. All the work is done either at the server side or the client side. The internet is said to incorporate what's called an end-to-end design. All the work is done at either end and not in the means of transportation. In other words, when you look at your Facebook page, all the functions and computations are run either on Facebook servers or on your computer, and none on the internet. The internet service provider helps create the roads, but says nothing about what goes on them. But some internet service providers in the US, like Comcast, Verizon, AT&T, want to change this kind of neutrality. Their view is that some websites take up more bandwidth than other websites, thus using more and more of their resources. Websites like Netflix or YouTube are data heavy and supposedly use more bandwidth. After all, these internet service providers say it costs them to pump the information through the network that they create and maintain. So these internet service providers want to charge sites like Netflix or YouTube to help pay for the costs they give rise to, and in return, the internet service provider will ensure that these sites run smoothly and quickly. Another argument against the net neutrality is just that these internet service providers are private businesses, and as private businesses, they get to decide what kinds of services to sell or not to sell, and also how to sell them. If somebody doesn't want their business, they don't have to use them. They can simply go to a different provider. And if the internet service provider wants to charge Facebook or Netflix more, that is their prerogative. After all, Facebook and Netflix don't have to pay them if they don't want to. These are the two main arguments against net neutrality, or for what is sometimes called access tiering, where internet service providers give bandwidth priority to websites that pay for quality of service.